Hi everybody, thanks for watching our Sensaphone webinar. My name is Dave Brysocker. I am the marketing director here at Sensaphone. And in today's webinar, we're going to answer some of the frequently asked questions about using a Sensaphone in greenhouse monitoring. So let's jump right in. One of the first questions we always get is, what is a remote monitoring system? What is a Sensaphone? How does it work? All that good stuff. So Sensaphone pretty much is used anywhere that you have anything that's environmentally sensitive, any kind of asset that's environmentally sensitive. So, in this case, it would be greenhouse, any kind of inventory in a greenhouse. Temperature obviously affects how plants grow and could be a danger, in the wintertime when it's cold. If the heat gets too high in the summertime, that could be a problem as well. So a lot of people want to know, if things are okay while they're not there. So they'll hook up temperature sensors, or, if they want to get a little bit more complicated, humidity, CO2, other kind of sensors to the Sensaphone. And they set, high and low limits in the device. And should those limits be exceeded, they'll receive a phone call, text message, or email. So pretty much just knowing that everything's okay while you're not there, that the temperature or humidity level, or whatever it may be, is within reason, overnight or just while you're not there. Again, the newer ones work by sending all the information to the cloud. So all the temperature sensors, or humidity sensors, whatever it would be, come into the device down here at the bottom, and it sends all that information. It collects all the information in the device, sends it out to the cloud, and you're able to view that information remotely, either from a smartphone or on a computer. You can log in, do all your programming, and at the same time see real-time values of what the temperature is, what the humidity is, and beyond. One of the best features of our products is receiving phone calls. People hate this and love it at the same time, because nobody wants to get a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, saying that the temperature in the greenhouse is too low on a cold winter night. Maybe the heater failed, or it got ripped open and there's cold air blowing in. So, these are great. These phone calls are great. They wake you up. They'll get you out of bed, get you moving to check things. Hopefully, everything's okay, or if not, you're able to fix it before morning comes and you get on site and realize that something's wrong and all the plants have frozen because it's too cold. So one of the things people ask, what are the most important conditions to monitor? Obviously, temperature is a huge one. Everybody wants to know, like I said, a cold winter night, that everything's okay. The plants are within a threshold, a temperature that's sustainable for them. You can monitor inside, outside, if that makes a difference for you. In different spots in the greenhouses. If you have longer houses, one at each end, one in the middle, that way that'll give you an indication that everything's okay while you're sleeping. Again, how the Sensaphone works is you set a minimum temperature and a maximum temperature, and should those temperature limits be exceeded, you can receive a phone call, email, or text message. People want to know, can they monitor anything other than temperature? A lot of people use them just for temperature, but they can. Many customers use them to monitor humidity, power failure, CO2, soil moisture, and security. In addition, most monitoring systems will accept sensors that may be outside the norm for typical greenhouse applications, such as measuring pressure and flow of water through a pipe, well levels, power consumption, fan vibration, and more. Many will even accept sensors for very specific applications. So if you run anything that you need to monitor that maybe we don't have a sensor for, we can oftentimes help source a sensor that'll work with our system that'll work for you. So what is needed to install one of these systems at a site? In the old days, it used to be an analog telephone line and power. the Sensaphone systems have been around for 30 years. For a good portion of that, they were just using analog telephone lines to send alarms out via telephone. But as telephones are going away, we've developed, internet and Wi-Fi connected Sensaphones that'll work. That'll do the same functionality and more actually. So if you're in a place where you don't have an analog phone line, Wi-Fi, or internet connection, a lot of times they can be packaged with a cellular modem, and they'll work on AT&T or Verizon networks in the States, or Rogers in Canada. And they can these are great for remote locations where you don't have access to a simple internet connection, and they'll do the same thing. The device is packaged in a weatherproof enclosure, so it can be inside a greenhouse and stand up to harsh operating conditions that are not generally good for electronics. But with the weatherproof enclosure, these seem to work pretty well. So a lot of people ask about the sensors. What's involved with the sensors? How are they installed? Many sensors, are just simply wired right to the Sensaphone. It's pretty straightforward. You can get wire at any kind of electronic supply store or big box store. Any kind of 18, 24 gauge wire. You just wire them right back to the Sensaphone, and programming, you're good to go. Some of the more complicated sensors, these the 4 to 20 type sensors, as we call them, require a power supply. We do suggest getting a battery-backed power supply for those sensors, so that if power goes out, they'll still keep monitoring and working for you. So that kind of leads us into how does the system work if we do lose power? A lot of people are concerned about that because if the power goes out, how do you get alarms? How are you going to know that chances are maybe your heater's not going to work, and it's not going to keep your greenhouse at the temperature that it needs to be? Are you still going to get alarms? Most Sensaphone devices are have battery backup built in, so they'll keep up and running. If they're using the analog phone line, the older Sensaphone models, they're going to keep sending messages out through your phone line. They monitor for power. That's kind of built into the system, so they will keep sending alarms until somebody responds, and hopefully can get out there and maybe start a generator, something like that. With the network-based ones, they also have a built-in battery backup. They'll keep up and running. They'll keep collecting the data. Oftentimes, when the power goes out, your internet also goes out. So if the internet is not battery-backed, the device will go offline. But the Sensaphone is smart enough to know that it's not off, that it is offline, and it will send out an alarm to whoever you have it programmed to, and they can get there and know that the device is offline, and kind of go and have a check on things to make sure everything's okay. So what kind of alarms can I expect? We kind of covered some of this already. A telephone phone call is great. It wakes you up in the middle of the night. Like I said, a lot of people hate them because they do get phone calls in the middle of the night. But that's the whole idea, is that it's going to wake you up. You can get out of bed, check on things, make corrections. Like I said, start a generator, make sure you have power, make sure the heater gets going, and hopefully it'll help you save whatever's in the greenhouse from the cold. Text messages and email are also options. Like I said, these are popular for managers, people that maybe not are responsible for going out and doing the work, but they want to know if something's wrong. So if you already have a control system, people want to know, why would I want another system? Having a control system in your greenhouse certainly makes life easy, but many customers use our systems in conjunction with the control system for enhanced monitoring. The inventory in a lot of these greenhouses in the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So a cost-effective secondary system that's designed only to monitor for conditions that can threaten the inventory is a pretty small price to pay. And in fact, we get a lot of these of our customers that call after something bad has happened, and they've lost quite a bit of money and want to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So It's just something that a lot of the control systems do have alarms built into them. Unfortunately, most of those aren't sending telephone calls. So people will get a text message or email in the middle of the night, don't hear it, get to work in the morning, and then realize something's really wrong. So it's just a pretty small price to pay for the amount of money that it could potentially save. And yeah, like I said here, just getting a phone call, making sure everything's okay, or that it's not okay, and you should probably get out of bed and get out there. One of the other things is the Sensaphone systems are scalable, so it doesn't matter if you have one single hoop house that you're worried about, or a huge farm with hundreds of greenhouses or hoop houses. The Sensaphone has a system that can scale up or down to just about any application. So if you already have a control system, some of these use Modbus sensors. We do have a new product, the Sentinel Pro, that can tie into an existing control system, pull the information from the control system, and you're able to see all the information from your control system online. So, if you're away or you're at home on a cold winter night, you want to just pop it open. You can see what's going on, making sure that everything is working okay and as it should. So one of the other questions is, can these systems do anything else? And the answer is yes, we can do data logging. It's popular for people that are growing plants or whatever it may be, fruits or vegetables, that they want to monitor the temperature over time, and so you can kind of see what the temperature was from day to day, what that effect was on the product there. So it's one of those things that you can collect all this data as often or as inoften as you would like. That's user selectable, and use that to for research and make sure that it's going as you would like. So that's it. It's pretty short and sweet. If you have any questions, we're always here to help. Sensaphone.com. Like I said, if there's things that you don't see on the site that you think we might be able to help with, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, thanks everybody for watching today. We'll talk to you soon.